Great news, guys. CancelDating.com, aka YayWife.com, is officially live with the new ebook being launched. It is the first edit, but as you can see, it's at the bottom of the website. By the way, any women having a partner or husband, please leave out of respect for them, and anyone else enjoy reading. So we've got the whole postcard uploaded. Then, of course, my most recent stuff is going to be on TikTok. So go check that out. And then I start off with what makes a man good, avoiding premarital intimacy that builds trust in society. Then I provide 10 steps to find your wife. Step 1, self-love. Step 2, buy a wedding band and focus on commitment to your future spouse. Then you want to make sure you're avoiding premarital intimacy. That way, you're not attaching or simping to the wrong woman. Step 4, you want to discuss what's ideal in a perfect world. The man and the woman being pure, no previous intimacy, and celebrating femininity and woman's flower. Then it's also about wanting other people to have a spouse too, and thinking about them and your children and everything. Then part of it is initiating debates with people. Like, what do you think of all this? Obviously, it's just going to require more study for debate material. Step 8, you got to identify predatory people who are not your wife, and don't be a simp to these people. Then you want to, when you're ready, you want to assess a woman, observe her, and really think about if she would be able to play all the aspects of who you want in your life. Step 10, you can look at the woman, and then if there's reciprocal body language, ask her if she's looking for a husband or what does she think about marriage. Tell her to look you up online, and then the key thing is to not date. You want to tell her parents, tell her friends about you, to make it really clear that you are not trying to be intimate with her before marriage. And actually, this website is only one aspect of the Shieldheart philosophy, and that's available online. And let's see here. So yeah, we get the ebook. It's got some strong language and unpacks in a more elaborate way all the 10 steps to finding the right person. And yeah, we get a lot of details here. It's easy to reference it. Chapter 2, Yay Femininity, because all you got to do is say chapter 2 and then like line 86. Actually, that's an interesting line. It says, my advice, if two people are dating or having premarital intimacy, then I encourage them to see if they really love each other. Separate for 2 years. That's what I tell everyone, that they need at least 2 years of celibacy in order to really see clearly and remove any attachments. Because how can you know if you want to marry someone if you're being intimate with them? That's a distraction to really thinking objectively. Then we got chapter 3, the stupidity of dating. Really work into that. But yeah, it's all organized numerically. Chapter 4, prepare for wife. Yeah, this is a lot of details, but hey, this is a major life decision, probably the most critical one that'll affect your other decisions in life over the course of your life. And so it's going to be technical, and it's going to be scientific, and it's going to be requiring study. And then we got chapter 5, right? Chapter 5 is about selecting your wife. So some tips there. And then ultimately chapter 6. So this is an optimistic conclusion. And including some ideas for debating, because in order to create a peaceful world, we have to be an active participant. We can't only be like living on an island and not worrying about the rest of the world and like our future incarnations or anything like that. We got to be thinking about hard truths. So I'm going to do one last scroll so that you can play and pause it easily. But yeah, we got dating ebook, strong language, work through that. Cranking through all that. A lot of reality checks. People respecting each other, men respecting each other's future wives and daughters and everything. And there you go. Yay, femininity. This is about celebrating femininity, and even though women can be masculine, it's actually more courageous for them to find men who allow them to be in their feminine energy. And this requires a benevolent patriarchy, which both men and women need to work together to create. Now that we all have, because of technology, life isn't so harsh, so women also have power and they can do work for money and different things. We still need to choose and return back to, like, if I was a woman, I would want, wait, hold on here. So chapter 3, the stupidity of dating. So if I was a woman, what I would want is I earned money. What I would do is I would want my husband to help me manage it and make the final decisions on what to do with the money, and maybe not allow him to have full access to it. That gets a little tricky, because what if one person goes crazy? Or there has to be some sense of prenuptial understanding that, hey, we're still two individuals and life has imperfections and unknown factors. But the point is that in a perfect world, it would be better to work for the husband or for the husband's business. That way you're not working outside of the family, or work for the kids and work for making homemade meals and making the home a home. Like that's, and raising children. There's nothing more powerful than that as a job whatsoever. That's the most powerful job there is. And And so we look at all those numbers, man. We get hundreds of ideas here. And then we got chapter 4, prepare for a wife. Guys, the bottom line is, if you don't want marriage, or at least a non-legal life commitment, if you don't want that, it means that you don't know who you are. You don't know what you want. You don't know who you are, and therefore you're not really specific about, now I really know who I am, and now I really know what type of woman I want to include and invite into my life. So that's the masculine. Chapter 5, yeah. So select a wife. So that's what the masculine does. The masculine doesn't say, I'm maybe, you know how guys think. They're like, maybe this woman will like me, and I wonder if she likes me. No, what you want to start saying in your mind is, my wife will be X, Y, and Z. She will have such and such tasks and duties to do, whether that's more common stuff like raising 3 children, or whether it's more specified stuff like helping as a secretary, or with these such and such hobbies. And yeah, as a man, you want to set it up so your woman can enjoy being feminine. It doesn't have to worry so much, but can be like a helper and a worker on the project of your family. And yes, I do offer an optimistic conclusion. So you look at that. Orthodox Muslims and Christians and religious and spiritual people can probably agree that avoiding premarital intimacy is sacred and it should be illegal. And one other thing, guys, about laws is, don't be afraid to vote, because that's what we have here. We have the opportunity to vote for maybe the worst in society to be punished with humane leaving of their bodies. But yeah, tons of stuff here for you guys. So yeah, and do use this as a reference in debates. Like, say, similar to how people in the Bible will say, in the book of James, chapter 2, verse 5, say, like, in this book, say, chapter 6, line, let's see, line 216, women, would you prefer to be a feminine woman? And then that gives some context to maybe something you're trying to argue about. But yeah, thank you guys. Much aloha. Come join us. Yay wife and cancel dating. Together for a brighter future. Here we go.